silence for our sheriff, Kaylee, or our Deputy Kaylee Campbell, and the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you. I would pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're good. Again, thank everybody for coming. Need a motion for the approval of minutes.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. IT1, resolution authorizing the execution of an extension agreement by and between the State of New York Department of Transportation and the County of Oswego, New York State DOT contract number D014896. I have a motion to adopt. First by Legislator Holtz, second by Legislator Martino. Open for discussion. Brandon, you got anything on this? You do not? Okay, because it's for the airport, right?
All in favor?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. IT2, resolution authorizing the execution of a supplemental agreement, by and between the State of New York Department of Transportation and the County of Oswego, New York State DOT contract number D014896, 22-23 season.
Move it.
Second.
Open for discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. IT3, resolution authorizing the execution of a supplemental agreement by and between the State of New York Department of Transportation and the County of Oswego, New York State DOT contract number D014896, 23-24. Motion to first by Legislator Hulse, second by Legislator Martino. Open for discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. IT4, resolution authorizing budgetary modification insurance recovery to the Department of Solid Waste Energy Recovery Expense Account. Motion to discuss.
Move
First
it.
by Legislator
Second.
Martino, second by Legislator Yurden. Open for discussion.
This should be the last of the money for the Butler truck hitting the wall. from the insurance company.
Did you send him to driver school now?
That's what
I'm good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. IT5, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, energy recovery facility, additional hours to overtime payments.
Move it.
First by Legislator Hall, second by Legislator McKinnon. Open for discussion.
This is just moving, payroll changed some of the lines, so this is moving the additional hours money into the overtime budget so we can finish out the year.
Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. IT6, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste landfill and transfer stations overtime.
Move it.
Motion to move.
Second.
Again, this was just to cover, it's moving money from one account to another to cover it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Moving money.
Moving money.
Yeah.
When you squinted at me, I was starting to laugh. I do. IT7, resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste landfill and transfer station repairs and maintenance equipment, other equipment to other fees and services. Motion, Legislator Holtz, second by Legislator Martino. Discussion?
This one is just to cover, because of timeliness, I was not able to move money into an equipment line, but I had money in other fees and services to cover the undercarriage where D6 goes here for the landfill. We realized a $15,000 savings if we could cut the PO by this past Monday, which we did. So this is taking the equipment money and backfilling the other fees and services.
Thank you, Mike.
It's a good
Anybody else?
Good call, Mike.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to bids. We got a bid 24 air,
You got 8 there, right?
pardon me?
8.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
I make a motion to bring on IT8.
Second.
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste to add additional funds to capital project 0624 to repair the retaining wall under the Plasky transfer station from the unappropriated fund balance to the capital project. Motion to discuss. First by legislator Hall, second by legislator Martino.
This you decided in caucus at the August meeting, which I was unable to attend. Paul did not have the paperwork with him, and that's on me. So this is the paperwork for this committee to vote on, and we take it to the floor next week.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll go on to the bids. Bid 24 Air 007 zero emissions vehicle charging stations installation. Motion to discuss. First by legislator Hall, second by legislator Martino.
So this is the second half of the electric vehicle grant that we got from the FAA. We still have not received the electric pickup trucks. They are supposedly in production right now. This is the second half of that. That's to install 2 charging stations at the airport that charge these electric trucks. A little bit of background. FAA money, it will not allow for us to put these charging stations in a public place. It's for airport only, so we can't actually put them out front and charge for their usage just because it's FAA money. There is enough money in the grant to cover this installation. We had a huge response to this, and to be honest, thankfully, Scribe Electric, our locals, did get the low bid and all their paperwork is.
And after the meeting, I'd like to have a discussion with you.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept bid.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Very well. What was it? This is a, this is for Wendell Services LLC to apply to New York State Research and Development. Apparently we've had this done several years ago to go through our county buildings.
Yeah, what they've, we were eligible for a grant from NYSERDA. It's a 50-50 grant. 50% the state will pay for, 50% will come out of our ARPA monies, so there's really no cost to us. Wendell Energy Services is the NYSERDA consultant on this. What they've already done is they've worked with Rick they walked through our buildings to start an assessment, to gather baseline data. What they will do is what this is it's just a motion and a vote needed to authorize me to sign a grant application. If we get the grant, it'll come back to this committee to consider whether to contract with Wendell or not. I've talked to other county administrators who've used this program in Wendell. Wendell's got a good reputation for giving you realistic assessments. What they'll do is assess the energy demands and the electrical systems of all of our facilities and develop a report that'll show us what we could do to be more energy efficient and if it's worth it, if there's going to be a return on investment. So with us acquiring Legends and all that lighting, the other half of Bunner that isn't being renovated, this is a good opportunity to grab some state money and use some ARPA money to give us a baseline plan for the next few years of when we have to consider building renovations and other infrastructure work. We will have all the electrical systems in this report already assessed and can use this report to make decisions going forward. It obligates us to nothing. They'll come up with this report of what we could do to improve our systems. We can choose any of them or none of them to move forward based on what our financial condition is, but at least we'll have the information in front of us.
Thank you, Phil.
Yep.
Need a motion to move.
Well,
First by
I make a
legislator
motion.
Bearden, second by legislator Holtz. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Let's see. Okay, on the reporting departments. Temporary workspace agreement, National Grid, Legends, is that gas line inspection? What's that?
Brian's left, right?
Brian?
Yeah.
He probably would know more about that.
The temporary workspace agreement, National Grid / Legends, gas line inspection / repair.
I think that was from Rich.
Pardon me?
It was from Rich.
It's from Rich?
I know I talked with Rich Mitchell about this, and apparently we need to do that and move forward with the project.
I'll move it.
First by legislator Yurden, second by legislator Martino. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Buildings and grounds, department updates.
Butter Street, we had the pole finally hooked up, everything went well last week, electrical's done up there, filled in the trench, moving towards the back of the building now to, start the addition. First floor, it's sheet rocked, it's painted now, they're putting in drop ceilings, today in the first floor of it. So the public defender's area is definitely gonna be done by the end of the year, I'm guessing the whole first floor will be done. So which I think that's good news. The upstairs, probably half of it's gonna be close to being done by the end of the year. What we're gonna have a difficult time finishing until spring will be the parking lot in the back in that final addition for the storage. And a lot of that's because of the holdup from National Grid. That's a big, next week I'm meeting with Guymo up in Pulaski. They have everything finalized. They want to talk to me about what's going to happen up there. Everything with SHPO's all set, so we're meeting up there and talking about that. The last thing on my list would be the legislative building. In our capital projects for next year, we're hoping to get a rooftop unit. It's 30 years old. It's long overdue. We're probably going to need it. I'd like to, if everything gets approved, or if that part of our budget gets approved for next year, I'd like to be able to start moving at the end of this year to get pricing, get everything ordered, because that's gonna take probably 4 or 5 months to get in. So that's what I guess we'll talk about it more next month, but as the budget gets taken care of, if I'm able to get that moving, I'd like to sooner than later.
Did they order the cooling tower? Wasn't that cooling tower an issue too?
The cooling tower at Butter Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cooling tower at Butter Street, the county has approved that part of the project to get a new cooling tower. We're just waiting for the final specs to come back from CNS, and then we can approve that to get that moving, because once again, that's 4 months out, and they'll be putting that, I would say now, they'll be putting it in early in the spring.
Really, on these manufacturers, you get your order in before January, because every year they make a production schedule of rooftop units and towers and all that stuff. So if you get in early, you'll be on the first production line. So if we get in later than that,
So
we'll
are
be
you
late.
telling me we should do it like December 30th?
Well, sooner the better.
Sooner the better.
And I'm only saying that is because everything's getting hard to get again. Motors, pumps, all these rooftop units, everything's getting tougher to get.
Because we could order that ourselves without going through a contractor.
And we could save money. We could get something like that through state pricing. I know there's companies out there that I deal with that have state pricing, so it's something the county can do and then hire a contractor to put it in for us.
Yeah.
Sooner the better.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. That it?
That's it.
Very good. Thanks, Rick. Highway department updates.
Well, we got 2 crews on the county trail right as we speak. We're cutting grass on it, and then we're gonna reshape the trail itself for the grader. We got a grader going down there, we're putting granite down, and then rolling them. We're trying to do, everybody knows there's 2 sides of the east and west side of 81. We got 2 crews on the east side towards Cleveland, and they started by, Route 37 there. And we got 2 crews going there, and one over on the other side. I said, there's trees down, I mean, they're getting low hanging branches, cleaning all that up. Hopefully we can get a chunk done this year, a good chunk on both sides. And we're finishing up paving probably the next couple of weeks, then we'll have to mothball the plant, and we're gonna make cold patch this year. We haven't made none. Last year we couldn't make it because the plant really broke at the end of the year. We couldn't fix it.
We're not having that problem anymore, are we?
No.
It's a great feeling.
No. But that's it. We're just gonna get everything, clean up equipment. We're gonna put plows together, starting that now. I hate to say it, but it's that time of year.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Solid waste.
We kicked off our feasibility project. We had a mandatory meeting at the IRF last Friday. 2 engineering companies showed up, HDR and B&L. They've asked some questions, and I'm getting them the information, so they're the 2 bidders that are going to bid on that. We got our stack testing completed last week. We do that every 3 years at the IRF. I should have those results in a couple of weeks. Everything went okay. The IRF is aging, as we all know. We got through it. And again, when I have the results, if anything's crazy, I will let you know, but I don't believe it will be. Cell 5 should be wrapping up, I believe, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. They're pushing to get it done. Everything looks good. Plastic transfer station, we did start construction on it, and now, after this next legislative session, we can pay the contractor. The other thing I just want to bring up for discussion, just to be thinking about it, used motor oil that we take at all of our transfers. Historically, I guess we got paid for it. We do not get paid for it now. In fact, we've got 2 batches that had high zinc and phosphor content, and we had to pay to get rid of it. So I'm coming up with a plan that I'll discuss, potentially bringing all of the oil collection to Bristol Hill, and we may start charging like $1 minimum to take used oil to defray the costs if we get contaminated oil in. And I know you have all approached me and had residents at various times complaining that the oil tanks are full. This is a process. When the tanks at Bristol Hill get full, I have to call Clean Harbors. They come in and test it. And then there's a lag time from when it's tested, the test results come back, and then they'll come and pick it up. And that's why everything else fills up in the perimeters. I don't want to stop taking oil because I think it's a good service for our residents, but it also can't cost us money. It needs to at least be a sum zero at the end of the day. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I'll, like I said, I'm coming up with a little bit better plan that I'll discuss. And if we have to add that rate, we'll have to take it to the floor, right, to add that.
Probably, yes.
As a fee. And I don't want to, again, I don't want to make a ton of money off of this, but it's $4,500 to get rid of 3,000 gallons of oil.
Where's the phosphorus and zinc coming from, do you think?
I don't know.
Is it antifreeze? You don't know?
I don't know.
Jay?
How big is the tank that we have?
We have 2 1,000-gallon tanks at Bristol Hill that, when we take oil from the transfers, we bring it back and stage it at Bristol Hill. Usually we fill the 2 tanks, and we have some 400-gallon totes that we fill as well. And then I start the process to get it taken care of. And it's,
Is it not worth, just a question, you're the man, is it not worth having offset on tanks? Or like test a 3,000 gallon tank and have it empty, so when you're testing the second tank and the information's coming back, that one's clean to take it?
they kind of give me grief. No, there's no kind of, they give me grief if I got less than like 2,000 gallons. They just want to, and I need to push back a little bit, so I will.
Well, I mean, even if we had to put in another, as much as I hate to say it, put in another tank,
Well,
so that
that's gonna
there's
be-
always, at some point, there's always a place to go
That's
with
going
it.
to be a permit issue. I'm only permitted for what I have.
Mhm.
What are you permitted for?
The tanks that I have.
Just 2,000?
The 2,000, and I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to use the totes for storage.
You didn't say that.
We do. Now, we also burn oil in the shop for heat in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But at some point, that's gonna stop. The DEC is looking at that as well.
Yeah.
So,
God forbid we recycle.
Yeah, I
I'm not looking to solve this today. I'm
No, I
just,
just, I mean, but
We
that's,
gotta
see,
start
that,
thinking about it.
yes, I need to start thinking
Because
about.
I still have that, one constituent from Oswego that I want to listen to that.
So, okay. But yeah, today's just, here's where I'm at, this is what I'm thinking. I'll be prepared a little bit better, maybe to talk next month. I did have a meeting with my staff this morning, the TSOs at the transfers, and we were talking it through. If we're going to charge some money, the problem is, everything gets so hectic at the transfers, people just leave jugs of oil, they don't even always dump them. So I can't ask the staff to try to police this, it's just not gonna work. So if I bring it to Bristol Hill, I can have a little more control, which we're gonna get some pushback from the residents, why do I gotta go to Bristol Hill? Well, if you don't, you can take it to a car parts store or somewhere else. And you can take it there for free. You're gonna pay me a minimum charge of $1. I just wanna charge them $1. If it's a quart, if it's a gallon, if it's 5 gallons, pay me $1. And that's why, because of the cost of the disposal. Now, at some point, the DEC may clamp down on us and say, you can't take it anymore. And I don't know, but, you know, these various rules and regulations and laws are changing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work within the system, still keep it so our residents can dispose of it with us and not pour it behind our garages or whatever. But anyway, again, it's just discussion today.
Right.
I'm working on a full plan to talk about.
The only thing that makes me uncomfortable is sometimes up on the transfer station, there'll be 15, 20 gallons, milk jugs full of oil around the tank. And all it does is take somebody to back into the tank or back into
And
those
now I got a
jugs.
spill.
And now you
Yep.
got to.
But that's why I want to bring it all to Bristol Hill.
Got it.
So I can have better control and just not take it at any of the other transfers.
Got it.
So, okay, that's it.
You good? Well, we start thinking about that.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
That's all I got.
Brandon, airport.
I don't have a lot this month. I should have mentioned through that bid for the charging station install that we just approved, we did find a program that we received 2 charging stations for free. They're giving away a lot of stuff to convert to electric. So we did get the charging stations themselves for free. This is just to pay for the install of those. We're currently out to bid again for 2 new fuel trucks at the airport. This is state money that we got a couple of years ago. We went out to bid back then and received no bids on that. It was big supply time or lack of supplies. So we're back out to bid right now. We are seeing some interest in that, and I hope that we can get 2 new fuel trucks out there. The one that we have right now, we bought for $1, and we got the short end of this thing.
Didn't we get a couple fuel trucks?
We approved the grant a while back.
Okay.
And we're still
Okay.
trying to get.
Still working on it.
We did go out to bid for them, the specs were all well written, everything was there. It just, with the supply chain the way it was at the time,
Okay.
nobody was bidding on it. So we're back out to that right now.
And then,
Hopefully.
remember the ones you had were
They're
archaic?
horrible, they're
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's putting it mildly. Really, other than that, we're switching over to winter right now, trying to pressure wash all our tractors and motors and everything else. We're also putting chicken wire in some of the hangars. We're having some problems with pigeons getting in there and defecating on some airplanes. So, and Rick's guys have actually been pretty helpful with us. To us for that. It's really about all I got going on. If anybody's got any questions, happy to answer.
What?
pew pew.
Tell you what, if you had the time, you'd be a lot of pew-pews around my place too. I can't seem to get rid of them.
An open door, they fly in, they
Oh, yeah.
never fly back out.
You can't seem to find a way out. It ain't gonna out.
I just wish, huh? Air rifle? Until you got skylights in the hay barn. All right, central services. Wow.
We continue to work on a number of open projects. We do have the quotes for the video system phase 2 and some more review needed on that. Make sure we have all bases covered. So may have that hopefully for next legislative cycle. Also another project that was out there indicated for this year was replacing our backup servers. These run it, this backup server stack is in the DSS building right now. And, we would prefer not to have the servers in that building. There's no generator there, and that building is also inside the timeout exclusion zone, so it's not really an ideal site for the backup stack. So we recently kind of challenged that assumption through DSS. We verified that we really don't need to have that stack in the DSS building. We did that because of the DSS specific servers running there, and we were under the impression that those servers had to be located in that building. That's not the case. They need to be secure, which goes without saying, I suppose, and available for inspection. But otherwise, we could have that backup server stack and whatever location makes sense for the county. So one of the things we've been looking at, D&G's been helping us some with is potentially setting up a backup data center in the Fulton building and seeing if there's a space there we can leverage for that purpose. That's more advantageous for us because that building has a generator. It's outside the timeout exclusion zone. It's a better site all around for us. So I haven't brought this capital project forward yet. We're still pricing out servers. We're looking at cloud storage options. Really the big picture, making sure we really have designed this so it covers all the bases. So, and looking at individual systems to see if there are any different type of backup resources we may need for them. For example, the 911 CAD system, that's pretty unique in how it's functioned and what the requirements are for it. So we've expanded this project out a little bit again so it will be comprehensive. So I'm not anticipating that's going to be brought forward this year. We're close to the end of the year anyway, but it was slated for this year. But I guess we're doing a bit more of that at the moment. We continue with the Windows 11 upgrade. That's fairly easy stuff. We just have to plug it in. We're more than halfway through that at this point. Ahead of schedule on at least in my thinking we have to October next year, so we're in good shape on that. Working on the network upgrade project that was funded a couple months ago for the first couple phases. There's a fair amount of baseline work to do for that. So we're working through that and making progress. Yeah.
Very good.
Also, just to keep you up to date, you may remember the governor signed a law requiring all governments in New York State to migrate to .gov instead of .com. So we were going to have our first meeting on that yesterday, but it was rescheduled due to the deputy's funeral. So we'll keep you up to date on that. That's obviously going to be a little bit of a headache, is eventually all reprints of brochures and all stationery and everything's got to be changed to .gov. Your emails are still work now until I think that we can keep the .com for a couple of years and have it
Really,
the
as long
equivalent.
as we want to keep them as aliases in the email system, so they'll always work. I would advise that we maintain that domain anyway. It's not that expensive to have it.
But eventually we'll officially, for your cards and your correspondence and everything, we'll have to eventually say .gov, but we'll keep you up to date as to when we're ready to pull the trigger.
Any reason?
Why does state do anything?
And I think the idea with that is so that people accessing government resources that see a .gov, a domain ending in .gov, they can be assured they are actually getting to a government site. The .gov domain was, I think, was just a not-for-profit initiative. It was taken over by Federal Homeland Security through CISA. They manage it now, they administrate it. So the idea is it is a more tightly controlled extension. There are some security benefits. I think most people would be lost on them, but it is advantageous from a technical perspective.
The email addresses, I know, at least for myself, the .com that we have currently right now, that's my username for a lot of portals and a lot of different stuff, so.
Yeah,
if that .com email can at least stay.
Yeah, that'll continue to work. The .gov, the Oswego County, New York .gov works now. We had a deadline, somewhat soft deadline, but for board elections, that was a requirement under the cyber regulation the past couple of years ago. That's in place. We have actually called this afternoon. We were going to wrap up our secure email gateway proof point, making sure that the .gov email domain was fully set up in there as well. But we're really in a position where we could roll out the .gov email countywide if we wanted to, and then move it forward, make it the primary domain. So when you send an email, it shows that it's sending from Oswego County, New York. That's one that's been assigned to us. Up till recently, they weren't giving counties the option for more than just the one domain. But it still said there's quite a bit of stuff to work out for it to be countywide.
All right, thank you. Put that in executive session. I don't know what this is about. We can't get a hold of Mr. Mitchell, so I guess we're gonna wait till the ledge meeting, because we're gonna have to do it then anyway, so. Looking for the appropriate motion. First by legislator Yurden, second by legislator Holmes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Thank you very much, everybody.
Raven, Rich,